Star Wars, a really amazing saga. Never thought that it would get a lot of praise and a lot of fans loving. I'm gonna do a ranking, and there's about 7 of them, so I think I could do this pretty quickly. Hopefully my opinions aren't way too controversial, but anyway, let's get on with the list. Starting at number 7, we have Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Now, before you guys try to troll me, I like the prequels. People need to stop being all negative about it. And there are actually some really good qualities about these movies. Well, yes, there's a huge gap between these and the original trilogy, but I still really enjoy these. Now with Episode 2, I can agree with some of the criticism, like the love scenes. Crap, I even thought Twilight was better, like this meme says. But Episode 2 is still not that bad of a movie. I mean, it has a lot of good scenes, but it also has an equal amount of bad scenes. Now, don't get me wrong, like the meme said, I actually like the prequels, and people need to stop being negative about them. But this movie kind of fell a little bit flat, but hey, it's not a terrible movie, and it is an entertaining watch, and that's why it's number 7 at the bottom. Now, coming in at number 6, we have Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, with Jar Jar. Now, with this movie, I actually like it. Now, this was the introduction to Star Wars. Well, not in terms of years, but it was definitely the first in the chronological storyline. And this movie was pretty good, especially the fight at the end. But too bad the coolest character of the prequel trilogy of Star Wars had to die before the credits even rolled. But this was still an alright movie and definitely deserves to be number 6. Now, coming in at number 5, I may make a few people's day by not putting this really high, but it's Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Now, with J.J. Abrams as the creator of Star Wars, and not to mention, with Disney owning Star Wars, we thought that they were going to screw it up, but actually it wasn't that bad of a movie. Now, of course, I can agree with people that this is such a remake of A New Hope. In fact, it even has a similar storyline. But this was not a bad movie at all, even if it had some really... No, actually, it didn't really have that many cringy moments. Now, coming in at number 4, you probably weren't expecting this to be only number 4. We have Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Now, I couldn't find any memes for this one, so let's just say it's an awesome movie, and yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Coming in at number 3, and this may be a little bit controversial, but number 3 is Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Again, the 3rd movie in the chronological storyline. Now, a lot of people, including me, love this movie. It's easily the best of the prequels. But for some reason, some people still really do not like this movie. And yeah, this actually had its turn to the dark side. And if you even dare to say that Episode 3 is the worst of the prequels or anything like that, we're going to do what Obi-Wan did to Anakin and slice off your legs. No, not really, but I'm just saying, why do some people don't like this movie? I mean, it's better than Episode 1 and 2, but they just say, but this, even though it's the best prequel, it's still not a good movie. Well, it is one. Although I will admit, it does have some pretty bad moments, like when he's slaughtering all the younglings. Yeah, that was pretty bad. But it's still number 3. I'm coming in at number 2. We have a predictable one, and it is Star Wars Episode 4, The New Hope, or the original Star Wars. Now, this one, I could barely find any memes for this one either, but let's just say it's a really good movie. It is very good. Now, with number one, this is really predictable. It is Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Now, who could have not predicted that this would be number one on my ranking? I mean, crap, everyone agrees with me that this is easily the best Star Wars movie of all time, and it has one of the best lightsaber fights of all time, even though it's not as good as the number 3 spot's lightsaber fight. This is still a perfect movie. I mean, it has the best scenes, like the Hoth battle. Yeah, that was really cool. The lightsaber battle, again. Yeah, that was pretty cool. And it was finally nice to see the villains win for the day again. And this is a really good movie. It's the best movie of all time, in my opinion. And it always will be the best movie of all time, and the best Star Wars movie of all time. Sorry if it's taking a little bit. It'll end eventually. And cut that part out. And yeah, it's the best Star Wars movie. Anyway, guys, that was my meme-filled Star Wars episodes 1 through 7 ranking, and hopefully this doesn't get a lot of trolls, but anyway, see ya.